Okay, I'm going to move through these pretty quickly. Whenever you're multiplying uh, numbers that have, or exponents rather, that have the same base, you add the exponents together. Yeah. So what we can do is, if we don't know what that missing number is, we can say, well, we know that they add up to 11. So 2 plus x equals 11, right? We know that to be true, and then what we need to do is solve for x. So we just subtract 2, and you find that x is equal to 9. Okay, so 5 squared times 5 to the 9th will equal 5 to the 11th. So we're going to do the same thing all the way through. Okay, we will say x plus -4, or you could also write -4, equals -9, and then we can subtract -4 or just really add 4 to both sides. Add 4, and we will get x equals -5. And you can just kind of verify that in your mind by saying -5 plus -4 equals -9. So that works. So here we can say, for this one, we can say x plus 1/2 equals 1. Subtracting 1/2 from both sides, we get x equals 1/2, which makes sense because 1/2 plus 1/2 equals 1. And keep going, x plus 4 equals 1. We'll need to subtract 4 rather from both sides, and we get x equals -3. So -3 plus 4 equals 1. That works. Here we've got 2/3 plus x equals 5/6. So then what we're saying is -2/3 minus 2/3. And let's do this one over here on the side. What we're subtracting is 5/6 minus 2/3. And the best way to do this is to turn them both into the same denominator. We will keep 5/6, and we will turn 2/3 into 4/6. If you don't know how to write equivalent fractions, that's something you should check with me about. And 5/6 minus 4/6 equals 1/6. So 1/6 is the missing exponent. And we could say equals x, right? Now, we can do these separately. We're going to do the x exponents separately. We're going to say 3 plus what value for the missing exponent would give us, well, if we don't see the x over here, if we don't see any x terms over here, that must mean that it equals 0. It must have been x to the 0 power, which would make it not appear. Okay, so we subtract 3, and we get x equals -3. The missing x exponent is -3 here. And we're going to do the same thing for y. I'll just call it the y exponent. Okay, we have the missing y exponent, and there's nothing added to it, right? There's nothing added to it because there's no y exponents here. So we just say whatever's there needs to be what ends up resulting. So equals 2. That y exponent must equal 2. It must be y to the second power there, because that y to the second power, with nothing done to it, no other y term being multiplied, it just remains as y squared. These x cubed and x to the -3rd cancel each other out, leaving you with just that y squared term. That's it. That's all of those problems in one big shot.